like Lollapalooza on the planet, really a traveling tour of that magnitude, and the whole world was, you knew, I was conscious that the whole world was watching somewhere in there, but you know, through all the fun, the big barbecue-ness of it. It was like a big barbecue, you know.
Nothing like this had been done before, you know, and so many people came together for this really eclectic lineup. It was a really important time in music, and you know, everybody just kind of like, you know, there was no ego. There was no, you know, who's going on before who kind of a vibe. It was just like a killer tour, and the audience responded to every single band as enthusiastic. Like sometimes by the end of a tour like that, at the end of the night, you know, the audience is tired. They've been there all day. And when we would come out, they were just on fire. You know, they had been electrified by the day and by the variety of what they had just seen.
There was nothing like it because it was eclectic. It actually tapped into something that was bubbling beneath the surface of the mainstream, and kind of helped to bust everything out.
You know, it was obviously a very exciting festival to be a part of. It was nothing like it going on at that time, and we were very stoked to be part of it. The only thing with us is that our guitar player had left, John Frusciante, and we were scrambling to get a new player, so we got Rick Marshall, who's a great guitar player, friend of ours. And I remember the first show that we played at Mountain View up in the Bay Area. At this point we were doing encores. We would come on and wear these flaming helmets. And I remember flames shooting up and looking over at Rick, and he's like the new guy in the Chili Peppers, first show, Lollapalooza, windy, he's playing with fire on his head, and the wind blew and it went all down his back and he got all freaked out. And then we played 2 nights, the next night he stood there as still as he could with all his salve all over him and just playing.
Then the third year was us, Alice in Chains, Fishbone, Rage Against the Machine, and Tool opened. Tool. They alternated between playing the second stage and opening the main stage, so that was pretty funny, you know, being that they've gone on to be fairly popular, those 2 bands.
We bonded with quite a few bands, you know. It was like, you know, like Arrested Development, those guys. We spent a lot of time hanging out with those guys, and we had, you know, we had a lot of love for Alice in Chains and a kind of a history before Lollapalooza with those guys, and as well, like Primus, you know. So those were like, some of those people were like old friends, and some, you know, we made new friends, you know, that are still friends today.
Trent Reznor coming down, he was in the gift shop buying pantyhose for his girlfriend. And I was like, okay, cool. And then, like, you know, cut to 5 hours later, he's wearing them on stage, you know, and just fucking rocking it, you know? So it's like, you don't get those moments when you're doing just individual days, which is why the '91 thing was so special, because it was a traveling circus that much of it remains a blur, you know? And that's kind of how I want my circuses to be.